I'm Bet from BettesMakes, and today we're going to make a Halloween lantern. I happen to have one right behind me that I made with multicolors. So this is a lantern, and you would place a little lamp inside it. Right now I don't have a lamp inside this one, but I'll show you a demo a little later. So this is what we're going to make. It's fairly large, so I don't recommend using a Joy for this, but you can use a Cricut Explore or any maker will do. So let's get started with this project. I'm just going to hide my text here. And I'm going to go to the uploads. I do have a template all ready for you, and it is called Lantern with Halloween Images. And I'm going to add that to the canvas. Now it will be made available inside of the members area, so you can get in there and get this template anytime you want to use it. So everything is all grouped together here. So I'm just going to ungroup it so that we can move things apart here. So I'm going to take this. If I move it, you'll notice the line moved. So I'm just going to Control Z here. What I want to do is change this one line right here, and I'm going to change it up in the operations here. I need to change that to a score line, and I need to highlight both of these and attach them. And this is going to be one of the handles. We're going to need two, so I am going to duplicate it. Great. Now, inside here, if I click here, you'll see you get these two areas here. Those are also score lines where it says basic cut here. I'm going to come up to operation, and I'm going to drop it down and make those score lines. I click away, you're going to see them as score lines. I'm now going to highlight all of this and attach it. Now this is just two parts of our lantern, so I need to duplicate it so that I can have enough pieces to work our way right through. Now this is in white, these are a different color. We can cut them out of the same material if we want to, so I'm just going to highlight this one. And it's not going to allow me to do anything because I have to click on the color itself. I'm going to click on that color and shift click on the other color. Now you'll see that the color appears under operation. I click there, and I'm just going to click on the white so it matches here, and we'll see what fits on the mats from here. So the next thing you want to do is come up to save, and I am going to do a save as. But I just want to show you, this is Halloween lantern that I typed in here, and I picked a collection from here called October Makes, and that was just so I can definitely put stuff in order. Now I already have this saved, so I'm not going to save it again. I'm going to click on the X and just come up here to save. It just saves this as a project. Now you notice the blue bar comes down. If you click on the check mark here, that will make that blue bar go away, and then you can choose what machine you're going to use. In this case, I'm using my Maker 3, so I'm just going to click on Make It. Now you'll notice I'm going to use 3 mats here. I've got one for one side of the lantern, another one for the other side, and then I'm going to need a piece of paper, same color or different color, that will be the top. Now I have some extra papers that I'm going to use for my top. So we are actually ready to go with this. So I am going to click on continue. And it's going to come up with what I'm going to need here. I'm going to go to the first one. I want to pick the top one. Don't have to worry about a mirror on this. We don't have any text with it. Just want to make sure my machine's on so it connects. You can hear it whirring in the background. So it sounds like we're connecting okay. Just give it a second here. Oh, it wants me to select my device again. So it's my Maker 3. I may have to cancel and go back. Sometimes it doesn't connect right. Oh, no, it picked it up. Now I'm going to use a medium cardstock for all of my cuts. So I actually don't need to make a change. But I do have score lines, so it's going to ask me for the scoring wheel, and then it always tells me what's coming up next is the fine point blade. So it looks like we are good to go, and I'm going to now move the camera over to our demo table. So I'm going to stop my share here, And we are going to change cameras to our demo table camera. We have our demo table in full view. So as you can see, the light is flashing and it's looking for the score. So I'm going to take out my fine point blade. I'm going to open up my little toolkit here. I bought this toolkit at Cricut. And I'm looking for my scoring wheel, and it has a 0-1 on it so that I know that I'm in the right place with it. So I'm just going to attach that. Now, if you're using your Explorer, you won't have the scoring wheel, but you can use this scoring stylus in order to do the same thing. It has a blunt end that will go against the paper, and it fits right into your pen holder here. So that is one way to do it. Unfortunately, with the Joy, we have no way of doing a score line, at least at this point in time. Now, I've chosen orange for the outside. I'm going to have to look for some extra paper, and I have a third mat that I'm going to use for the top. But what I do is I put my paper down. I'm using a brayer tool, and I use that to make sure that my paper is stuck because we have a couple of intricate cuts coming up here, especially with the witches showing through. And I just want to make sure they're going to stick into place and cut properly. Now, the other thing I'll do a little later is just remove debris from my fine tip blade. But right now, we are going to load our first mat. Looks like we have our first one ready. Swap that out. And Design Space is going to be asking me questions with every piece that I put into place. And it looks like it's trying to, I'm going to have to pick my paper again. And then once again, it's asking me for my scoring tool. I should just left this over here. And I'll just put my scoring tool in place. There we go. And I'm going to make sure the mat is loaded. There we go. Oh. I'm just going to push that out again, just 1 second. There we go. So it actually does measure the mat. Okay, looks like we've got the second one ready. Just going to eject it. And I have the lid part ready to go, and it's just going to ask me for the paper again. And of course, it wants my scoring wheel. Each piece that we're doing today has a scoring wheel, which is great. And I want to put my mat into place. There we go. Okay, so now I put my scoring wheel away and back with my fine point blade. Make sure it clips in and press my go. Okay, we have actually one more piece that I didn't add to the canvas that we're going to be adding. And if you just give me 1 second here, we'll get this last piece going. And we didn't add the bottom to it, so I'm going to just my uploads, and I wish to apologize. I have to add this one to the canvas. It's just called the bottom of the lantern, and we're looking good with that. We have our score lines already set with it. And let's see, select these two pieces. So we're just going to cut one more piece. We're going to attach it. And I'm going to just hide the other pieces that I was working on. And we are attached. Yes, we are. I'm just going to click over and we're just going to load this one in. This one needs a 6 by 6 inch piece of paper. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. So it's the one more piece I had to cut. It's just taking its time thinking. I'm sorry it's just taking so long, but we are going to be loading our mat. I'm going to use the same paper and then I'm just going to put it in upside down here. And that is also a medium cardstock. And of course, I'm going to need my scoring wheel one more time here. Everything has required a scoring wheel. And I know we didn't put this bottom piece on, but you can do this one separately. All right, we are finished. And I'm just going to switch cameras over to a share screen. I'm going to show you exactly the piece that we missed on the rest of this. So let's just click on finish here. And I'm just going to change over to a share screen. And that's going to be our Cricut design space. So the piece that we missed putting in was the bottom. And if I click on upload here, you'll see a piece called lantern bottom that you needed to enter into your space. Now for this particular item, you have the score lines, which are on the inside. So you're going to have to change the cut to score. And then there's the basic cut on the outside. Just remember when you're going to cut this piece that you have to attach them so that they come out all as one. Now you could put it on the same page or same canvas as the other ones. I happen to have just hidden these other ones out of sight just so that I could add this extra piece that we had missed. So everything's looking good. I'm going to save this again just to make sure I have all of my pieces. Now I'm going to go back to the demo table and we are going to now put our lantern together. I'm going to turn off my machine. And I'm just going to slide it out of the way. There we go. I'm just going to turn it over and pull off the pieces we're going to need. There's the bottom. There's one of the tops. And then we have another one of the tops. You'll notice that I am rolling the mat from the paper. And that's just so it doesn't curl up. Let's take off these extra little pieces here. I'm going to put my protective cover on. I want lint or other debris on my mat. Okay, so those are some of the pieces that we have ready. And here are the other ones. This is really exciting stuff. So I'm just going to roll it off. Let's get this all rolled off together as one piece. There we go. Got it rolled off as one piece. I'm also going to take off my extras. I'm rolling it, and I just missed the end piece there. Just get that out of the way. Of course, I want to put a protective covering on my mat. You'll notice that this is an older mat, and I've been using this for a couple of years. All I did was go over to the sink and wash it with Dawn, and then hung it up to dry, and it seems to work quite well. Okay, one more set to go here. Let's see if we can pull everything off at the same time. Good. To get everything off. Be careful. There we go. Pull them all off at the same time, then it works really well. And once again, I want to put my protective covering over my mat. Off to the side with my extras. All right, we have all the pieces that we're looking for here. And now we have our little witch cutouts. And I'm just going to be very careful with them because we can use these as decorations. And where did the other piece go? There it is. So I have some witches that I can use later. That's the reason I like these cutout designs is because you can multi-purpose and not waste your material. So I'm just going to move these little witches out of the way. I'm going to use them for something else a little later. So now we have all the pieces we want. We have some score lines that we have to take care of. So I want to fold them to the inside, and I'm just going to fold them carefully to start. Make sure I get them to where I want it. And then I have my Cricut tool here. And I'm just going to make sure that everything's pretty straight here. I'm just going to make it a little crisper. That one looks really good. Now I have one more score line that I have to bring in, and you'll notice there's a little notch here, and there's a reason for the notch. That's so the broom doesn't show through. Okay, so let's just do that. So we've got the first one done. Now I want to make sure I've got it. Yep, there's the score line to the inside. You want to make sure your witches are all going in the same direction. That is probably one of the biggest mistakes we could make, is just not getting everything in the same direction. And once again, I'm going to fold into my other score line here. Where is it? There it is. Just want to make sure I get it correct. You can use a credit card. You don't have to use a little scraper like we have. There's those two pieces. Now I've got, this is my top, and it has a little score line here. That's just so I can measure everything up. I'm not going to crease it more than that to start. And just find a piece on this side. There it is on this side. It'll work a little better coming off one side than the other. And then of course we have the bottom. So we're going to have lots of fun gluing things. So let's just make sure the bottom pieces have to stand straight up, have to be pretty even. And it depends on which way you want to start the gluing process. So we have the bottom that we're going to put into place. I'll put these two pieces last, but I'm going to put these two pieces together. Now, as I said, I want our witches all facing the same way. So these are going to fit into place just like this. And that looks really good. So let's start by adding one of them. I'm going to put down a little mat here just so I don't get too much glue going on other places. So let's just put a little bit of glue here. Came out in a little bit of a blob there, but that's not going to hurt anything. You just put off to the side. Now I want to make sure I'm going in the right direction with those. I am. So the best part about this glue is it is tacky. So I'm going to slide it into place exactly where I want it to be. And then to just be able to move it into place. I want edges as even as we can get them. I do have a little extra on here. I can just move that out of place. There we go. Really good. Get a lot of glue on me. Okay, got a little bit of glue on the mat. That's now pretty dry. This will dry up. All right, now we have to do the same for the other side. Get this little extra piece of glue on here. I'll pull that off to make my job a little easier. There we go. Put it over here for now. Maybe. All right, see if I can get a little less here. There we go. Now we're going to be adding this piece into place. Now you notice it's a little easier putting the second one into place. Match them up. Match them up as best as possible so that the bottom is going to fit into place and it'll fit properly. There we go. That looks really good. So we have the top and bottom, so we have the basis of it all ready to go. The next part is going to be a little more difficult, but I am going to push these right down now and fold them right in, and then I'm going to apply the glue. And then I'm going to put the lantern over top. So let's get some glue in place here. I'm going to do them all at the same time. Go. My lid back on. Now with this piece, I want to put the lantern exactly over top here. Make sure I get the outside edges. You should be able to see right in there how I've got them in there. And then I'm just going to take my hands and press them to the walls. Thank goodness it's big enough that I can do that. Just check inside here. I'm just going to turn it to its side and then just push down each piece. I know it's fitting at the bottom because that's how we put it together. And the last one here. Okay, let me just put it into place here. See, it decided it wanted to pop out a little bit. As the glue dries a little bit, it's a little easier to press into place. You want to make sure all 4 pieces are on the inside, otherwise it's going to create a little bit of a mess. Now this is looking good right now. So now we have what we call our handles that are going to fit on the top. And the reason I wanted to just bend this a little bit is because we want to be able to match these to the top. And I'm going to put them this way so that I can bend it over this way and glue it in and hold it down in that direction. So let me start by just making it a bigger crease. Same with this one, just a bigger crease. Start with one of these and I'm going to apply a little bit of glue to the edge here. Let's see where this edge. See, I want it to go in this way. So I want the glue on this side. I almost put it on the wrong one. Okay, a little bit of glue. Now what's going to happen here, just pull this over here. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it on the inside, and I'm going to fold this over, and that way I can measure it and get it right into place, and then hold it together in the right position. Without that fold, you're just guessing about getting it straight. So that looks really good so far. So we need one on the other side. Remember, I am putting it in this way, so we have to make sure we get the glue on the right edge. Okay. Glue off to the side. Once again, I'm just going to hook it in this way. Make sure we get it in the right place. Just push it down so it's flush with the top. Make sure it's all pushed down, both sides. Just take a second or two for it to dry. Now we have one last thing we want to do with this, actually two. I purchased some of this ribbon at Michael's, and you want to be able to hang your lantern up. So I'm just going to cut off a strip of this ribbon. And I'm just going to let this dry for a second longer before we attach it. But I also bought some other things that I can use in the middle for lighting up this lantern. This came from the dollar store. It was $1.25. And just one of these lights that will glow. So it has a little glow to it. Or you can use other ones. They had other ones in a package of 2 for $1.25, these little black ones. And I could put a couple of those in the center as well, as you can see them glow. And then I can just put them into place down here as I carry it around. So I have a couple of choices of things that we can do for it. Now they're all dollar store items, so it's really easy and really inexpensive. Okay, I think we're dry enough here that I can do this. I'm just going to pull these up. There we go. Pull the next one up. Seems to have pulled some of the orange off my paper here. So I didn't use a solid cord, but that's okay. So we're going to tie these two at the top. So let's just thread this through. Bring more to the middle here. Let's just thread it through. Make it as even as possible. And I'm just going to tie it right here. Just one single knot, not too tight. And then I'm going to bring them up to the top like this. And then I'm going to come along and I'm going to fold and just bring it through just like that. So you get a nice little hanger. And that's all there is to this. I'm just going to put in a couple of lights here so you can see how it glows. Turn these on. Put them inside. I'm not going to stay inside, but that gives you an idea of how they can glow. You can see them glowing on the inside there. I don't know if I can turn it so you can see it this way, but there we go. So this is our little lantern that we're going to be able to hang up. And this is just such a fun little project. So I really hope you enjoyed putting that one together. And let me just turn it off to its side here so you can see it. So that is all there is to making a paper lantern. So until next time, happy crafting.